This video and its content are protected by and operate underneath the guise of the Fair Use Act. It will be used for criticism, reporting, possible teachable moments, but most importantly, my commentary and review. So, hey, YouTube, and anyone who gets butthurt, do not come copyright striking my channel. Also, everything in this video is allegedly according to what has been alleged, because even if we see them do it with our own two eyes, hear them say it with our own two ears out of their own mouths, or read it in the court docs, it is still alleged because we weren't there, so we don't know what really happened.
And I'd be like, why are you so obsessed with me?
Did you hear what they just said? Child, a whole mess. Oh, I'm about to spill this Hennessy and y'all about to sip.
Yo, what's poppin', Henny gang, 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 gang? If you are new to the channel, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Click that notification bell so that you get notified whenever I do a video. Of course, my subscribe wants to delay. What's poppin', Henny gang? So, earlier today, I did a full case read of a lot of Chrisean's court documents, and we went through the Oklahoma case as well. I know I'm gonna keep it to myself, but tonight we are going to go through all of Blueface's court docs. Yes, there's court docs, and it seems that he and Chrisean seem to be neck and neck when it comes to these civil and criminal cases. If I'm not mistaken, Chrisean has a total of 7 cases open. That is a total of 7 between criminal and civil suits, okay? And Blueface has a total of 6 criminal and civil cases. Chrisean has a total of 2 warrants, and Blue had 1, which is, well, he had 2, but now he's down to 1. Because he is serving 1. Child, I don't know what is going on, but it seems like they are just paralleling one another. Bonnie and Clyde for real. The 04 Bonnie and Clyde. They need to come out with a song. When they come out and they out together, they need to go right on up in there in that studio in the back of the house and go make an 04, I'm sorry, a 24, not a 04, a 2004 Bonnie and Clyde freaking song, because this is ridiculous. Okay, this is ridiculous. I don't. Anyway, what's poppin'? Buttercup, Camille, Angel, Cammy, Okai, Jasmine, Evelyn, Kashima, Angel, Monica, Evelyn, Internet Granny, Kristen, Foodie, Mercy, Kayla, Sarah, Miss Poppington on the ski. Okay. Nicole, Miss Latrice, Jack and Jay's mom. Rosin. Tage, Dre spits that faithful. Okay. Wilson Vibes, Lulu, Miss Thompson, Just Me, Cat Eyes is up in here. Sheeta, Janora, Paula. What's poppin', everybody? What's poppin', T, the goddess? Okay. What's poppin', Lee? What's poppin', Mary? What's poppin', CJ? What's poppin', Felicia? What's poppin', Nicole? Miss Parker? Oh, Miss Parker. I ain't said that in a minute. What minute? What's poppin', Miss Parker? Miss D, Real. What's poppin'? Henry. What's poppin'? Sweetness. Okay, Lauren, be more careful. What's poppin'? TR, what's poppin'? Edna, Jessica, Loretta, what's poppin'? Reason, what's poppin'? She's in high demand, is up in here. Latanya, Margie, just say, Tracy, Coley is up in here. I'm trying to see Ruthie. What's popping? What's popping? What's popping? Sarah. What's popping? Y'all see this T. What's popping? Rakitha. What's popping? Lala. What's popping? Dominican Queen. What's popping? Betty Boo Boo. What's popping? Bree Bree. What's popping to everybody? What's popping? Linda. Okay, what's popping to everybody that is up in here and anybody that I did not get to? Please do not take it personal. But I would like to get this show on the road because we have a lot of ground to cover. And I am not here for a long time, but I am here for a good time. Okay. All right. So I've gone through these case documents before. I have told y'all about all of his civil cases, but like Chrisean, we never had everything all in one video. So I figured this would be the perfect time to go ahead and put everything in one video so we can all be on one accord with what is going on with Blueface's cases. Now, another reason why I chose to do All right. Another reason why I chose to do all of Blue's cases is because nobody ever talks about Blue. Everybody want to talk about Chrisean, but nobody ever wants to talk about Blue and the things that he do, okay? So tonight we're going to talk about Blue and all of his mishaps and the things that he has gotten himself into, okay? The things that Wack has dropped the ball on, because there's a lot. And I'm not going to drag. I promise. I promise I'm not going to drag. He doesn't even go here. Hey, Odd. I know that we don't like him, but he's the ringmaster. So we kind of can't talk about the circus without him. And yes, I know that the circus is him bleeding, but we can bleed too. All right, so before we do any of that, I would like to get started and show y'all that this is the most updated booking information from LA Sheriffs. I want to give you a Chrisean update because there is no update. There is still no bail. She's still housed where she was housed. There is still no court date nor release information, and that's kind of concerning me. This Oklahoma hold is still here. And the reason why this is concerning me is because if we already have this information, a release date and a court date, why hasn't it been put in the sheriff's? Okay, that's what I am concerned about. I am still watching. The Vine link has not changed. Okay, it is still showing that she is in custody with a scheduled release date of June 20th. All right, this one from Oklahoma shows that she is still on active probation as of June 12th. So there's been no changes there. Well, did I show that screen? Right here, probation active. All right. When it comes down to Oklahoma, when we go up into the DA's case, we do not see anything, no movement since yesterday at 4:31 p.m. when the DA was in the case, and the arresting agency, which is the arresting agency, was not in here since 1:29 yesterday. Okay, so those are the Chrisean update, is that there is no update, that there hasn't been any movement in the case file at all. So we don't know what's going on with all of that behind the scenes, but I am going to be keeping an eye on it, as will the Henny PIs. We are on top of this, and as soon as something changes, I will report it to y'all. Now, let's start getting into all of this juicy goodness. Yes, I believe that does mean that they've made up their mind, but we've got to see which way they are actually going with it, okay? And I don't want to speak doom and gloom, so I'm going to keep some of my thoughts to myself and just say let's continue to pray for positivity. Now, as we get into Blueface's cases, all right, this is his California case, the people of the state of California versus Jonathan Jamal Porter. It just says Jonathan Porter, but I just wanted to say Lucifer's whole name, all right? Now, this is where he is in Click City right now for assault with an unaliving weapon with force, possibly great bodily injury. He pleaded no contest to this. And the robbery was dismissed due to the plea negotiation. Now, he and Chrisean both share this charge, child. Do y'all notice that? They had the same charges in these California cases. Child. He has already been sentenced to this. His term of 2 years and 5 months. The status was revoked for his probation because he is currently incarcerated for that to serve 354 days. So I don't know where all of that he was coming home in July came from, but guess what? He ain't coming home in July, I don't think, because he's going for his probation sentencing on July 29th. If he comes home, he comes home. But he's being sentenced for that probation. I'm sorry, I said parole. Probation violation on the 29th. So there goes that July 2nd, 3rd, whatever date it was, out the window because it's not going to happen. All right. Again, I don't want to be the voice of doom and gloom in these situations. However, that is a fact. All right. And if you aren't familiar with this case was the case that occurred in a nightclub where Blue was out with Jaden and the schoolyards, and something or another transpired, and he and the schoolyards ended up jumping on this man. There was video that TMZ posted. When I attempted to show that video, I ended up getting hit by YouTube for the violence in it. So I will not be showing that video here, but there is video on TMZ about this particular incident if you want to go and see it. And this is the case that he is sitting in Click City for right now. Okay, so I want to start where we currently are. And now we're going to go into Blueface's civil suits. Okay, the first civil suit that we are going to go into, and I am going to delve into his Nevada case, but I am going to save that case for last because that's the case that everybody is looking at. That's the one with the most information. So we're going to save that one for last, and we're going to get into these other ones. So the first civil case that we're going to go through, let me make sure that you guys can see it very clearly because I'm trying to be very mindful of making sure that you guys can see the screen. So I did pull myself over to the side, even though I hate this screen. I hate this screen, ladies and gentlemen. I hate it. Okay, I really do. I like being down in the corner, but whatever. Okay, whatever. We're just going to deal with it for right now. And if it starts irritating me, I will change it. Just so y'all know, I will change the screen on your punk ass. No, I'm playing. All right, so this is Jacqueline Martinez, okay? And if you don't know who Jacqueline Martinez is Soulja Boy's baby mama. Now, if you remember, I did read this over to y'all before, but we're going to read over it again tonight. And while I can see pretty clearly right now, I ain't taking no chances. So let me put my glasses on, okay? Let me put my glasses on and let's zoom in. All right, that's good right there. And so she is suing for defamation, for false light, for intentional infliction of severe emotional distress, for negligence and declaratory relief. And she is asking for a jury trial demanded, that is demanded of her. And the case value exceeds $25,000. Don't this sound like the James case, y'all? Yes, he is still at Blueface's house. Don't it sound like the James case? Yeah. Okay. Moderators, please, henny hitters, be hitting hard in the chat. We are only one channel right now. I decided that going on both channels for this is not a good idea. Okay. So first cause of action for defamation against all defendants and those 1 through 100 inclusive. Okay. At all times. Herein, plaintiff as an individual located in the county of Los Angeles, state of California. Plaintiff is informed and believes and thereon alleges that at all times relevant herein, defendant Jonathan Jamal Porter, known professionally as Blueface, herein after referred to individually as defendant, was and now is an individual located in the county of Los Angeles, state of California. Plaintiff is ignorant of the true names and capacities, whether corporate, associated, successors, alter ego, fictitious, individual, or otherwise, of defendants sued herein, those 1 through 100. Inclusive, and therefore sue says defendant and each of them by such fictitious names. So therefore is suing them. Plaintiff will seek leave of court to amend this complaint to assert the true names and capacities of the fictitious defendants. So she's basically saying that, go after them. On or about December 15th, 16th, 17th, and or 18th of 2023. And continuing, the plaintiff became aware that the defendant published, disseminated, I'm sorry, Hanny. What the hell? Okay, I'm going to turn that off. And communicated with individuals and or groups of persons via social media, including but not limited to X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, and or other social media platforms, false and defamatory statements about the plaintiff and her child, including but not limited to, because I effed your baby mama the day before her baby shower. The baby shower took place June 11th of 2022, and the plaintiff was 6 months pregnant at the time. Till Soldier get a DNA test, that's my child, little bro. I'm the daddy now. What's old about your baby mama? Giving me mouth. I'm just going to drop my head on that one. And Soldier, the father of plaintiff's baby, kissing D every time he sees his child. Crying laughing face emoji. Might be my kid. He ain't even get the DNA test. DNA strand emoji. That's the defamatory statement, y'all. I don't know how to close this window, or I would. Let's continue. The defamatory statements are false. Plaintiff had protected sexual intercourse only one time with the defendant years ago in 2018. Soldier Boy baby mama slept with Blueface, y'all. She admitted it in the court docs. Plaintiff did not engage in any sexual activity or conduct with defendant the day before her baby shower or while she was pregnant. Plaintiff did not engage in any sexual activity or conduct with the defendant at any time while she was dating DeAndre Cortez Way, aka Soldier Boy. Therein after referred to as Way. There is zero chance that the defendant is the plaintiff's child's biological father. On or about December 19th, plaintiff's attorney and plaintiff sent defendant a cease and desist letter requesting that defendant immediately remove all defamatory publications and postings relating to the plaintiff, including but not limited to the X and Instagram post made between December 15th and 18th of 2023. The cease and desist letter further requested that the defendant immediately cease and desist from engaging in any further defamatory conduct or behavior of any type towards the plaintiff. On or about December 19th of 2023, defendant callously and mockingly responded to defendant's cease and desist letter by sending the plaintiff the following post on Instagram. Nobody ever said your name. Shrug shoulders emoji, crying laughing face emoji. I don't even know who you are. Hands over face emoji. Bruh, you posted a whole video of her being in your video, twerking. Bruh. On or about December 19th, it was posted on social media and or the internet that plaintiff had an attorney and that defendant had been sent a cease and desist letter. Shortly afterwards, the plaintiff received several unaliving threats on her Instagram account from unknown persons, including "We pow pow you down," laughing, crying face emoji, snitch, see you soon, and when you in the grave, I'll make sure your baby all right. Wow. Plaintiff is greatly concerned for herself and her child's safety and well-being, and plaintiff is extremely nervous and afraid to go outside or be in public. Defamatory statements were defamatory per se. The defamatory statements charge that plaintiff has a particular defect in character, including but not limited to the plaintiff is promiscuous. Plaintiff is dishonest. Plaintiff was unfaithful to the father of her child. That defendant is the father of her child. That the plaintiff practices unsafe and or unprotected eggs. The defamatory statements carry with them the implication of acts of dishonesty and inappropriate, improper, and wrongful misconduct and behavior, including but not limited to that plaintiff is promiscuous, plaintiff is unfaithful to her child. Didn't I just read that? Yeah, I did just read that. They repeated themselves. The defamatory statements tend to directly injure and impinge plaintiff with respect to plaintiff's offices, professions, trades, vocational capacity, businesses, and reputation by inputting to plaintiff a disqualification in those respects which the offices, professions, trades, and businesses particularly require. To wit, plaintiff works in a business where attitude, trust, stability, being level-headed, and integrity were not only valuable but imperative. The defamatory statements also impute something with respect to plaintiff's offices, professions, trades, businesses, reputation, which has a natural tendency to lessen the plaintiff's profits. To wit, the plaintiff lacks judgment and engages in dishonest, inappropriate, improper, and wrongful misconduct and behavior, including but not limited to that plaintiff is promiscuous, unfaithful to a child's father, practices unsafe or unprotected eggs. Okay. Defendants 1 through 100 inclusive, and each of them made the defamatory statements maliciously and or deliberately and or recklessly and or intentionally with knowledge of the falsity of those charges and with the intent to defame the plaintiff, and were motivated out of ill will and desire to injure the plaintiff in conscious disregard for the plaintiff's rights. Defendants and does 1 through 100 inclusive, and each of them failed to investigate the charges at all and or adequately and or thoroughly. Now, does 1 through 100, do you know who those are? Bingo. All them people that reposted that stuff, claiming Soulja Boy's son, but denying your own DNA proven seed is demon work. Thank you for the super chat, Buttercup. And yes, indeed. That's what I believe. And you know what makes me believe that it's everybody that reposted that? Because it says defendant and does 1 through 100 inclusive, and all of them made the defamatory statements maliciously and or deliberately and recklessly and or intentionally with knowledge of the falsity of those charges and with intent to defame the plaintiff, and were motivated out of ill will and desire to injure the plaintiff and in conscious disregard of the plaintiff's rights. Defendants 1 through 100 inclusive, and each of them failed to investigate the charges at all and inadequate and or thoroughly. Okay, so basically what this person, who sounds like the dude from In Living Color, 1 fish, 2 fish, 3 fish, red fish, blue fish, all of that, okay? Basically what they're saying is those people failed to investigate the information and yet put it out there. That's what it's giving to me. Okay. Defendant has not retracted or removed any of the defamatory statements or sought to fix and repair the damages done to the plaintiff, evidencing further malice on the part of the defendant. A strong and reasonable inference can be drawn that defendant's motives for making these false statements were done in an effort to promote defendant's career by engaging in a feud with the father of the plaintiff's child. In fact, defendant posted on Instagram and stated on live stream social media that his intent was to use the plaintiff and or Way as pawns in order to go viral and promote his career. This is evidence of the malice on the part of the defendant. Now they get into all of this, but she basically filed this civil suit. They're repeating stuff, as we know they often do. And this girl filed on his punk. Okay, she filed this on December 22nd of 2023. All right. Now this is the continuance of hearing an order, okay, that she put in on the previous hearing, the order to show cause, previously set hearing on 6/3 of 2024, okay, has been reset for 7/22/2024 at 8:30. Jackie, sweetheart, I don't think he gonna make it to that court date. You might have to push that one back too, because he ain't finna make it. Okay, he's not finna make it. This is her request for the court's judgment. Okay, there's her name. There's his name. All right. She broke down. This is what I was looking for in the James Wright case. This right here, a breakdown of everything. But he does not have a breakdown of everything in his case, but she has one in hers. And if you remember correctly, I said, well, damn, your punitive damages. This girl is seeking $250,000 as a special. For general, she is seeking $5 million each. Her attorney fees and costs for a grand total of $10,266,373. That's what she's seeking. $10,266,300. $10,266,200. Why do I keep doing that? $10,066,373. $10,266,373. $10,266,373. I'm going to say it again because I just need to get it out, okay? $10,266,373. That's what she is seeking. I could not get that out for nothing. I kept trying to stop it at the 266,000. But I did that. Bang, okay? This is how y'all come over here because I'm freaking goofy as hell. I know, but I couldn't get it out, y'all. It's the 10 mil for me. Okay. Well, damn, that's steep for that statement. That's a lot of money when you can't pronounce it. $10 million over words, yes. No, she is not getting that. She's not getting it. Denied. That's what the judge gonna say. Yes, that's the lawsuit against Blue, child. We ain't even getting deep into this yet. We ain't even getting elbows deep. We just dipped our feet in the water. Oh, God. Okay, Blue has told Jaden to unalive herself and everything else. Okay, I don't know where that came from, Lorianne, but child, she not getting a dime. Okay, he don't got it. He don't got it. His net worth ain't even $10 million, child. He can't give what he don't have, and this ain't it. Y'all know this ain't it, right? This is just one case where they want $10 million out of Blueface. Lord. Okay, she asked for a continuance, and this is what I showed y'all. The continuance will happen on 7/22, 2024 at 8:30 a.m. I don't know if they're gonna move this or not, because at the end of the day, child, Blueface is still gonna be locked up, honey. He's still gonna be in Click City. How do we know that? Because look at here. He go to court here. He's still in custody. And he ain't making that court date. He is not making that court date. Sorry, not sorry. It's not happening, sweetheart. It's just not happening. I hate to break that news to you. Okay. All right. So we're going to keep it moving right along. Okay. And the next one that we are going to get into is going to be this one. Yes. This is the civil suit of Contabius Trailer. Now, if you remember Mr. Trailer is the one that took the selfie in the courthouse. Three finger ain't on it, child. You gonna see. You gonna see. You is finna see. Where am I at? Over here. Contabius Trailer is the one that showed up to the people of the state of Nevada versus Jonathan Porter. Okay. That's the gentleman who was pow-powed in the hand. He is suing Euphoric Gentlemen's Club, a domestic limited liability company, Jonathan Porter, aka Blueface, individually, and those 1 through 15 inclusive, row business entities 1 through 15 inclusive. Okay. Okay. Facts common to all causes of action. All right. On or about October 9th, 2022, the plaintiff was a guest and or invitee of the property. The defendant, Euphoric, was in control of and responsible for maintaining the property in a reasonably safe condition to protect guests such as plaintiffs from harm. That on or about October 9th, 2022, the plaintiff was lawfully on the property when the defendant Porter physically assaulted the plaintiff while he was a guest at the property. Defendant Euphoric failed to provide adequate security on the night of October 9th, 2022. As a result, the defendant's actions, plaintiff sustained significant injuries. Child, let me turn my air on because it's getting hot in here. Okay. Plaintiff incorporates paragraph 1 through 20 of the complaint as those paragraphs are fully incorporated with the set forth. So the previous comments go with this statement that he's making about how they did not make it a safe environment for him, how it was reckless. They failed to keep him safe, basically, is what he's saying. And I don't even understand how that is possible. But anyway, defendant Porter owed plaintiff a duty of care. Defendant Porter breached that duty of care by assaulting and powwowing a weapon at the plaintiff. As a direct and proximate result of negligence of defendant Porter, plaintiff has been damaged in an amount that exceeds $15,000. The acts of the defendant Porter, as described therein, violated the traffic laws of the state of Nevada and Clark County, constituting negligence per se, and the plaintiff has been damaged as a direct and proximate result thereof. He's seeking more than $15,000 for that. Okay. Defendant Porter breached his duty, breached that duty of care by assaulting the plaintiff. Okay. The plaintiff was in the field of danger that defendant created by powwowing at him and punching him. As direct and proximate result of the defendant's negligence, the plaintiff was shot in the hand while trying to get away, which has caused him emotional injury. As a direct proximity result of the defendant's negligence, the plaintiff has suffered emotional distress and psychological injury and received I don't know what he received outside of that, but it says received, period. Okay. That's the end of that sentence. As a direct and proximate result of defendant's aforementioned negligence, plaintiff has suffered legally compensatable emotional distress and damage. Okay. And he's seeking, of course, $15K. On or about October 9th, 2022, without warning or provoking, without warning or being provoked, the defendant Porter and or Doles assaulted and or battered the plaintiff, causing the plaintiff grievous physical and mental injuries, and putting the defendant Porter in great fear and concern for his safety. Wait a minute. Where they be finding these people? Let's read that again. Causing grievous physical and mental injuries, and putting defendant Porter in great fear and concern for his safety and well-being. I don't think they meant that. Putting defendant Porter in great fear and concern for his safety and well-being. What? No, I can't make this shit up. It's right there. It's right here in black and white. Who? Oh, Lord. Child. The defendants, and each of them had knowledge of the violence propensities of defendant Porter, but defendants and each of them failed to properly hire and or supervise and or train and or manage and or monitor their employees to prevent such attack on the plaintiff. Why do they keep talking like these people are ravaged, savage animals that cannot be controlled? Right. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Well, actually, it's just saying that he wants more than $50K. Henny just say keep him locked up. Wildebeest that they didn't cage properly. That's the way this is reading, because that's the same thing they were saying about Chrisean. But what people don't realize is, okay, yes, security at these venues, they have an obligation to keep you, the party goers, and the staff safe. But their priority is going to be the staff over you if it comes down to you or the staff. Please understand that. Please understand that. Child. Okay. That as a direct and proximate result of the negligence of defendants and each of them, plaintiff Porter sustained personal injuries, some of which conditions may be permanent and disabling, and all to plaintiff's damages in the extent. I ain't reading no more. I'm done. Thank y'all for coming out. Good night and God bless. Because what? The way this is reading. Y'all see it for yourselves. I am not making this up. I'm not making this up. What? How does he go from the defendant to the plaintiff? And it's saying that his conditions are permanent and disabling, and all to plaintiff's damages in the amount of in excess of $15K. So basically, you're saying, let's recap. Blue was put in a position to where he feared for his safety and was harmed. And now it's saying that he has permanent damage and believes that the damages should be given to him in an amount that exceeds 15K. Oh, baby, who is the lawyer? Because, baby, stay away. Who is this? Allison and Mary. Why y'all got to be two women? Oh, Jesus. Hicks and Brazier PLLC. That's who did this. That's who did that, y'all. I swear to God, I can't make this up. Anyway, well, child, let me show y'all this, because this is a journal entry for the case, and this is from Euphoric Gentlemen's Club. Basically, Euphoric Gentlemen's Club settled. Default judgment on one of the defendants. While it is his understanding they settled with the other defendant, requests time in order to speak with his client and prepare an order for dismissal of Euphoric Gentlemen's Club. Mr. Barrington concurred, noted his clients have paid the settlement. They received the release and are now awaiting a dismissal from court and shows vindicated. Euphoric Gentlemen's Nightclub has settled their case with Contabius Trailer in an undisclosed amount because it's not on here. I think that that's unfair because it said in the paperwork that Blue was owed that money. Baby, I cannot write this. It writes itself, honey. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Child, Blue, I would take them to court because you owed some coin. Because it says so in the court documents that you are owed some coin. Child. Wait a minute. Blue got Jonathan a lawsuit from the club. I would sue him too. Okay. Shh. Blue can definitely use the money, honey. Okay. He's being permanently disabled financially for all of this. Child, I cannot. That had to be the last two documents had to be the most hilarious. Okay. But now let's get into Jarvis Heard. This is the third civil suit against Blueface. And this one, the one prior to this was in Nevada with the gentleman that had the case settled, Contabius. And the one with Jacqueline Martinez, Soulja Boy's baby mama, is in LA. So now we are on the third civil case of Blueface Baby. Yeah. She wants $10 million. He wants an amount that exceeds 15K. Let's see what Jarvis Heard wants, okay? It says exempt from arbitration, probable jury awarded an exceed of 50K. He wants over 50K, okay? Now, let me tell you something about this dude, Jarvis Heard. Jarvis Heard was there at the nightclub, had nothing to do with the altercation, and his car was hit by Contabius Trailer when he was fleeing the scene from Jonathan Jamal Porter, aka Blueface, at Euphoric Gentlemen's Club. So he got everybody on here, honey. Everybody is on this case. All right. Plaintiff Jarvis Heard. I'm gonna try to read this without my glasses, child, because Where we at on the likes, guys? Can I get a like check? Because I haven't done that in a while. Can I get a like check? Oh, yeah. Can we get them likes up, y'all? Because there's over 400 people in here. Can we get those likes up? Now, Blue Baby is disabled. That's fine. You could hide in the bushes, but like the video because clearly you like the content because you're here. Not give this man Jaden truck and move on. Okay, so my regular peoples said to stop. Okay, they said stop. So I cannot go until they say to go. So okay, we at 308. Me too. It's a shame how many people want to see. Right. Well, let's just play a little music. How about that? Yep, you can only like once. All right, y'all. Let me check and see how many people we got. We got 410 in here. Where we at on the likes, y'all? Thanks, y'all, for your cooperation and participating and getting those likes up to 350. I greatly appreciate it. To all of the lurkers who left, see y'all. Because a like don't never hurt nobody. Because, see, I could be like a lot of other content creators and say, I'm going to stop this video until I get X amount of dollars in my Cash App. But all I'm asking for is likes. Because y'all like the information, right? So if you can't give the video a like, then see ya. Let the door to the bar hit you where the good Lord split you. Now let the party continue on and let's read this case because I'm hoping that this is not as bad as the other two. Okay. I'm hoping it's not as bad as the other two. And I just seen something. I really hope you're trying to be funny because if you're not, they gonna get you. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. So now let's go into this case right here. Okay, defendant Contabius. Okay, plaintiff Jarvis Heard isn't at all times relevant. Was a resident of Clark County in the state of Nevada. Defendants Contabius Trailer and Jonathan Jamal Porter, aka Jonathan Porter, aka Blueface. Eugene Rotondo and Shannon Sanders are and at all times relevant were residents of Clark County in the state of Nevada. I didn't know that Blueface lived in Nevada. I could have saw he lived in LA or not even where he lived at. He lived somewhere in California. Woo! Okay, defendants SG Enterprises LLC, doing business as your Euphoric Gentlemen's Club, is and at all times relevant with a limited liability company organized under the state laws of Nevada. Defendant Eugene Rotondo is and at all times relevant, was a managing member of SG Enterprises, okay, of Euphoric Gentlemen's Club. Okay, Shannon Sanders was a managing member of Euphoric Nightclub. I'm just gonna have to start chopping through some of this stuff because we're not gonna do all of this. All right. At all times pertinent, defendant Euphoric owned, managed, and otherwise had control of the property with address there. Okay, defendant Euphoric was responsible for the maintenance and security of the property. True names and capacities, whether individuals, corporate, associated, or otherwise, defendants herein designated as Does 1 through XXX inclusive, and Roe Corporations 1 through XX. I said XXX, child. Okay, so these are all of the people that he is naming, the true capacities of everybody he does not know, and they're just naming everybody in the case. All right, so we gonna go on, scroll on down. All right, jurisdiction of the venue, court jurisdiction, because these actions arose out of the event. Basically, what he's saying is that his car was damaged in the process of all of this, and that the damages that he is seeking exceed $15,000. Venue in this court is appropriate, and here are the general allegations. Euphoric Gentlemen's Nightclub and the defendants, Does 1 through XX inclusive, and the Roe businesses 1 through X inclusive, defendants, Roe business entities, Euphoric Gentlemen's Nightclub. Upon information and belief, the unidentified patron entered the club and encountered defendant Porter's group inside, resulting in an altercation. Upon information and belief, the altercation, defendant Porter and the other parties involved exited the club. Porter's entourage started a fight at the strip club. Porter or members of his entourage fired a pow-pow at the plaintiff. Trailer fled the scene in a white 2022 Nissan Titan. Defendant Porter's group was standing outside the club on the sidewalk when the vehicle driven by defendant Trailer, who was involved in a prior altercation, stopped on the street in front of the club near the defendant Porter. Upon information and belief, defendant Trailer and defendant Porter continued their altercation, whereby defendant Porter removed a firearm from his person and fired several shots, injuring a bystander. Upon information and belief, defendant Porter has a criminal history involving firearms. This is true. Because I pulled those case records already. Okay. Porter agreed to plead guilty to just discharging a firearm at or into an occupied structure, vehicle, aircraft, or watercraft, and battery. Trailer suffered what appeared to be a bullet grazed wound to his left hand, according to the police report. During the escape, defendant Trailer's vehicle collided with the plaintiff's vehicle. The damage to plaintiff's vehicle was a total loss. Las Vegas Metro Police noted the incident as a hit and run. Plaintiff's vehicle is still in disrepair in the auto shop. Now, if it is a total loss, why is it at the auto shop? It's a total loss. Okay, as a direct result of defendant's club negligence, willfully and or reckless conduct, the club was permanently closed. Okay. And this is who this gentleman is. Without consent, against the will of the plaintiff, possessed and discharged a firearm at the club. So what he is seeking is the elements are: 1, duty owned by defendant to plaintiff, breach of said duty by defendant. Said breach is the direct and proximate cause of plaintiff's emotional distress and damages, emotional damages. Okay. So he is going after Blueface in an amount that exceeds $15,000. Okay. And if you remember, at the top of this case was started in October 24th of 2023. All right. Now, if you remember, in the beginning of this case, it said that this gentleman was seeking a jury award in excess of $50,000. So it looks like he's looking to receive more than $50,000 from everybody who was involved. And that includes Blueface. Okay. It includes him as well. Now, the sad part about all of this is in this case, okay, attorneys for the defendant, Jonathan Jamal Porter, Jonathan Porter, aka Blueface. If you remember, I told y'all about this. Hearing not requested, notice of non-opposition, meaning he wants to withdraw as counsel. His lawyer asked to withdraw as counsel. Motion to withdraw as counsel for Jonathan Jamal Porter, aka Jonathan Porter, aka Blueface, filed on April 5th of 2024. Oppositions are due on or about April 19th of 2024. Okay. And this was signed by his law firm and him. And if you remember, it was granted. Blueface no longer has a lawyer. The court grants the petition motion to withdraw and request withdrawing counsel. Submit an order confirming this minute. He has no lawyer on the case. Child, a whole mess. Now, I did go through these documents already, but you know, you need everything in one place sometimes. Yes, his lawyer said, I don't want no parts in this case, okay? That's the $1 million question that you asking right there. Hold on. Why Wack ain't got him a lawyer? Now, this right here, wait a minute. Is this the one that I want? I don't think this is the one that I want. Oh, yes, this is the criminal binder. Wait, we got to save this one. Oh, no, we can't save this one. Okay. So this is the binder in order to appear. The order having been made this day by me that Jonathan Jamal Porter be held to answer before the 8th judicial district court upon the charges of attempted unaliving with the use of a unaliving weapon or tear gas. This is the criminal case that he received as a result of everything. Now, I could have come with this first, but I didn't want to because there's a lot with this right here, okay? This is a case that he actually was put on probation for. That is the hold that he now has. This is the case that has the hold on him, okay? So this is the unaliving case. We already know what happened, okay? We know what happened. We know what he pled to, but I want to take y'all, I believe it's page 40. I've read this before, but I'm going to read it again because it's always good to read again. Okay, so whoever scanned this document in, scan this document in. Whew, baby. Whew, baby. So this is going through, okay, we can read this. Instant case in the early morning hours of October 8th. Wait. Didn't the other case say October 9th? This one says October 8th. Can we get the dates right? Defendant was at Euphoric Gentleman's Nightclub. While there, members of defendant's entourage attacked and physically assaulted victim Contabius trailer. Shortly thereafter, trailer got into his truck. Now, the other gentleman said that he was driving a white Nissan. And drove over to a parked car in front of the club where defendant, another male, and a female were standing. In the ensuing moments, captured on video surveillance, the male with the defendant quickly approaches trailer in the driver's seat. Trailer then speeds away while defendant removes a firearm and begins pow-powing at trailer. As trailer speeds away, it appears that the female who was with the defendant is thrown towards a wall by the truck passes. I guess they meant while the truck passes. She later gets up on her own and walks away. Trailer's truck was struck by gunfire multiple times, and trailer received a bullet grazed wound. It says wood. That says wood to his hand. At the time of the shooting, defendant was subject to criminal protective order, domestic violence filed by the Superior Court of California, County of Los Angeles, rendering the possession of the firearm and a felony offense. Okay. On November 16th, defendant appeared before the court on an arrest warrant return. Defendant was arraigned and bail was set at $50,000. In additional conditions that should the defendant make bail, he would stay out of trouble and have no contact with the named victims. A bond was posted and by the defendant the same day. On May 29th of 2023, defendant was at the Palms Casino in Las Vegas, Clark County, Nevada, with his girlfriend, Chrisean Malone, and an entourage of male associates. That would be the schoolyards doing the schoolyard yardigans shenanigans. Okay. At approximately 7 p.m., a female victim and her sister approached defendant and Malone. The woman asked the defendant, a rap artist known professionally as Blueface, and Malone, a reality TV personality known as Chrisean Rock, if she could video record them with her phone, and they both agreed. While recording, a male member of the defendant's entourage jumped in front of the video and began telling the victim to give them her phone number if she wanted to record. The victim laughed and said, "Let me see my girl," in reference to wanting to film Malone. When they stepped out of the frame, the victim told Malone, who was pregnant, "Dang, congratulations, babe, I love you." She then pointed to the defendant and said, "F him, I love you." At that point, Malone stepped towards the victim and punched her in the left side of her face. The victim, dazed, stumbled backwards as Malone walked off. Defendant and an unknown male associate then approached the victim, and defendant rips the phone from the victim's hand. Defendant then puts the phone into his pocket and walks away from the victim. The victim and her sister try to get the phone back from the defendant while members of his entourage pushed and pulled the victim and her sister back. At some point, the victim catches up to the defendant and tries to physically retrieve her phone. A member of the defendant's entourage pulls the victim away and punches her in the face. The same male then holds the victim's head down while the defendant kicks her in the chest and or face. Defendant and his entourage then leave the casino. The state has provided a copy of the video attached here too as Exhibit 1 for the court's review. No, I don't have the CD. I don't know how I would get the CD, but I would love to get the CD. So that is the story. That is the story of what happened. Here's the disc right here. Okay, so the disc does exist. Okay, copy of the disc. The disc does exist. So with this, he was put on house arrest, remember? All right. Now, This is Blueface's sentencing for that same Nevada case. All right. We already know what the case is about, that he is sentenced to account 2 to the minimum of 24 months and a maximum of 60 months in Nevada Department of Corrections, suspended, placed on probation for an indeterminate period not to exceed 36 months. Okay. So this is all of his. He has a stay out order of the strip and the corridor and the gaming and the downtown. No contact whatsoever with Mr. Trailer or his family, which I don't understand that, because he has a court case against this man. Complete impulse control counseling classes, which we know he did not do and he needs. No use, possession, or control of alcohol or drugs, including marijuana, during the term of probation, which we know he did not follow. Maintain full-time employment, abide by any curfew imposed, report to P&P by Wednesday of this week. You shall submit your digital storage media and all digital storage media that you have access or use, including computer, handheld communication devices, and any network applications associated with those devices, including social media and remote storage services, to a search, and shall provide all passwords, unlock codes, and account information associated with those items, with or without a search warrant by the Division of Parole and Probation or its agents. Okay. And this was given to him on 10/6. Wait, what? No, this is the status check. It was a rescind out of corridor. So this is what he was supposed to come back to court for on October 6th of 2025. It was supposed to be a status check, and they were supposed to resend the order out corridors. So what is the order out corridors? We went over this before, just recently. This is the order out. Everyone was trying to figure that out, what it was. This is the order out. It is the boundaries of the order out, and he was not supposed to be anywhere in these downtown areas, especially these dark areas that are on the map. He just was not allowed anywhere down here at all, right? All right. This is the bench warrant. The bench warrant for the case that has the hold on him now. This is the warrant that has the hold on him while he is in LA County. We have gone over this bench warrant before. It was automated on the first day of February of 2024. And Kathleen Delaney wants this man back in her court right here. That is the judge that we watched tell him that if he came back into her court, that she was going to give him what he was looking for, basically, and not so many words. That she was going to give him what he wanted if he came up in there on any more BS. And so now we are waiting to see if he is going to be taken back, honey. Okay. All right. Now, are y'all ready for this one? I've never seen anyone get kicked out so fast. The block was a person. Right. She said F around and find out, and that's what he did. I don't even know what they did. Listen, I love the admins. They in here with them wrenches, and they not playing. And pretty soon I'm going to add a couple more wrenches to help them out up in here. But shout out to the admins, because I don't even see what's going on. And y'all got this, okay? Get them up out of here. Up out of here. Okay, so this is the last case. I did talk about Nevada, but now we're going to get into the case that child, everybody coming for this man money. Y'all remember this case. I don't have to go through this case. Euphoric Gentlemen's Nightclub is suing Blueface, okay? And they were granted a $13 million settlement, okay? The judge saw in their favor. So they've been waiting for their money, okay? Because they're saying as a result of what Blue did that night at the nightclub with the whole powing and everything, it caused their club to have to be shut down. They lost money, and they want to retrieve said monies. Now, we know that he has been in Click Click City all of this time, but while he was in Click Click City and his Judgment for 13 mil went unanswered. They started a judgment based on sister state, okay? What does that mean? What does it mean? What does it all mean? So this was the original amount that the judgment was for $13,072,482. Hey. Okay, there is a court filing fee of $435 on there, okay? And that brings Blue's total to 14 million and change as well. So what does that all mean? That means that they were awarded the right to go after Blueface. And in this right here, it shows that Blue was notified about this stuff because it says that this person, Robert Krishner, duly sworn, depose and say, I am over the age of 18 and not a party to this action, and that within the boundaries of the state where service was affected, I was authorized by law to make service of the documents and inform said person of the consent herein. Jonathan Jamal Porter, aka Blueface, Los Angeles County Men's Central Jail. Okay, the manner of service, personal or individual, on February 7th, 2024 at 3:45 p.m. A successful attempt, February 7th, 2024, okay, at Los Angeles Central Jail, received by Jonathan Jamal Porter, age 26, ethnicity African American. He's 6'3", black hair, brown eyes, booking number, housing module, in custody, tentative release 7/2/2024. Okay, that's the tentative release, but we know that Blue is going to court on 7/29 to be sentenced for whatever the hell happened behind that wall. As a result of him not answering, y'all know what happened, don't y'all? And if y'all don't know, I'm going to tell y'all. Lean with it, rock with it. Lean with it, rock with it. They were granted a lien, and the judgment amount has gone up as of 5/17/2024. It is now at $14,891,435.59. And they've got a lien on his house. Okay. We gonna get into this right here. Blue Girls Mansion and the other one. Okay, we gonna get into all of that right there. This is all of Blueface's cases. Let me say this. A lot of his stuff is civil cases, okay? The only criminal cases that he has right now is the California one that he's sitting for and the Nevada case that has a hold on him. All these other cases are civil. The Jackie, the Jarvis, the Contabius, the Euphoric Nightclub, they are all civil cases, okay? And it does not seem to me that Wack is handling anything. I've said this before when I first went through and found out that he had a lien on his house, that Wack is not handling anything because Wack said he was going to handle that and he didn't. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen when Blue comes home to all of this mess. So he got a possible $10 million lawsuit hanging over his head. He done already lost a $14 million lawsuit. And if this lady Jackie gets her case, that means he's going to be in the hole of $24 million. It's over. He's going to be working for those people for the rest of their life because this Euphoric Gentlemen's Club, they got a lien on his house, which means they're going to come for his property. He can file bankruptcy. I'm not sure, because when you have things like this on there, don't they have to sign off on it? Because didn't Tasha K try that? And Cardi B had to approve it. And Cardi B said, hell no, you going to run me my coins? Yeah, I think it would be up to them. Yes, be more careful. 24 million. And we ain't talking about views. We talking about dollars, peso, coin, dinero. Mancini. Okay? The Munyon and Mancini. It's a lot. It's a lot. Okay? Okay, you could put all three of the kids plus yourself through college and still have money left over to buy you some land and build you a house on it and possibly buy you a business too. 24 milli? I'm with you. I'm on your side with this comment. Run, Chrisean. Don't walk. Run as quickly as you can. The guy said, it's my money and I want it now. Blue better tell him how he... Okay. Mm-hmm. Free Chrisean so she could run, not walk, to the nearest exit from this. Okay. I say Jay run to. At this point, everybody run away from him. Jaden, Angela, Rock, Jiggy. Get them track shoes on and get the running, gals. Because no, absolutely not. This is a red flag. It gets no redder than this. You run into child. Well, here's the thing. In the state of California, in the state, he better get what? Wait a minute. He better get on the pole. Free Chrisean with the road runner feet. Pew. Okay. Here's the thing. In the state of California, even if they were to get married, this debt was accumulated prior to the marriage. So this wouldn't have any effect on her at all. But I just don't see it, because how you going to clear these debts, sir? So as you can see, these two right here are running parallel. I said this the other day, but they are really running parallel, neck and neck with a lot of things. I don't. One can't stay out of trouble and one don't handle the business. What the hell is going on with this couple? But yet and still, somebody be getting up here every day talking about before Chrisean came into our lives. Ma'am, he was getting in trouble before Chrisean came along. Okay. And a lot of this stuff, Chrisean wasn't there in Nevada. And that's just it. That one incident in Nevada caused a chain of a ripple out effect. Because that's how he caught the criminal case in Nevada. That's how he ended up with these 1, 2, 3 civil lawsuits down there. That's how he ended up on house arrest. That's how he ended up violating. That's how he. And guess what? Chrisean told him not to go there. And guess what? You can't blame her, because they were filming Crazy in Love 1 when that happened. And she was at the hotel with Elle, and she was pissed because he went to Vegas and did not tell her. And this is when that incident went down. So you can't blame her for that one. You cannot continue to sit here and blame her for him going to Vegas, because him and the schoolyardigans was out there. in Vegas prior to her even getting there. So there was no plans for her to be there at first. He invited her to come. She showed us the text messages and all of that. So this was all on him. You can't blame her for none of this. Everybody want to blame this girl for him getting into trouble. He made these decisions. He decided to pow out in the parking lot and caught himself all the way up. Okay. He decided to whoop that trick out there in the club in Cali before he even knew Chrisean. He was with Jaden, but I find it amazing how it took all this time for Wack to get up there on Jason Lee and say that he is responsible for his own thinking and his own actions, because when all of this first jumped off, him and Carlissa, being Carzilla, was sitting up in there blaming the baby mamas for what Blue got himself into trouble for. Now, we ain't sitting up here blaming Blue for the stuff that Chrisean done got in trouble for. Chrisean is being held accountable for Chrisean's stuff. He's being held accountable right now for his stuff. Because, see, while you sitting out here in that gangster lean, you need to realize that you are a celebrity, sir. You may be a Z-list celebrity, because I don't think you a D, E, F, G celebrity, but you know, you somewhere on that totem pole somewhere. At the end of the day, what your entourage do will fall back on you. And when you decide to follow the crowd, you are the one that's going to pay the price. Because guess what? In this whole lawsuit thing, I didn't hear not one time anybody going after the rest of the schoolyardigans that was with him. They're only going after Blue. Now, if y'all remember a long time ago when there was a bunch of stuff that was going on and there was some alleged SA stuff, like people being unwantedly touched and all of that. And, you know, we've seen them do some things that make a side eye the hell out of them, especially that damn Tiny. But I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. You know, I didn't say nothing. I ain't say nothing. Okay, I didn't say nothing. But I said then, what your entourage do will fall back on you, Blue, and it has, because they ain't got none of the other ones in that case with you. They're not listed on there as defendants. I didn't see their names unless they're a part of the John Does on the case. But your name is big, bold, and all your aliases. It sounds to me like both of them have lessons to learn. Henny Glasses in the chat if you could agree. And the other reason why I chose to also go through Blue's caseloads is because everybody seems to forget that he ain't no angel or saint, and he got his own legal problems as well. So while everybody is quick to drag Chrisean, make sure you drag him too, because he be along with the shit too. All right. But anyway, that is my video for this evening. Okay. I know that we took a little longer with Chrisean, but that's because, you know, it's big baby country over here. For the record, we don't like Blue over here. We tolerate him because that's who she's with, but we don't like him. There, I said it out loud. It's documented. Timestamp it. I don't care. But anyway, I hope that this video was informative to you. You guys have a clear understanding on the things that are going on with Blue. You now have a whole video where you have all of his cases. I will then keep up with these cases as they develop, and I will come back and do another one. Yes, Blue did start the hate train on Chrisean and Junior. I will continue to keep up with all of this and give you updates as they are updated. I will continue to be on Chrisean watch to see what is going on, because like I said in the beginning of this video, what is concerning to me is the fact that none of the cases are updating. Maybe it's because they've already reached a negotiation and she's going to walk out the door on the 20th because they agreed to run her 30-day sentence concurrent with Oklahoma, since that's what they were asking for on the warrant. And she's able to just leave and be on probation in Oklahoma and in California and stay there with her baby and not have to go anywhere else. Yeah. We're going to keep positive vibes, but we are not delusional and don't know what the hell is going on. Buttercup, Claiming Soulja Boy's son but denying your own. Thank you for the super chat. Unpopular opinion. I don't see Soulja Boy BM being successful. She may not be successful. Thank you for the super sticker. You also said, right, Rock, you might have to put 9 of them 11 kids back on the shelf. Thank you for the super chat, Trust. Thank you for the super sticker, super sticker Trust and super sticker Okai. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you. I appreciate y'all for tapping in and tuning in and rocking out with your girl. I appreciate y'all. Let me just do one more check because I be forgetting. Thank you for the Cash App. I appreciate it. Thank you to all of y'all who stayed from the beginning to now. Thank you to the replay gang. And thank you for y'all continued support. Without y'all, there is no me. And without me, there is no Henny gang, y'all. Because where would we be? We would still be on the internet fighting in the comments. But all right, y'all. That is it. We did our 10 and 10 today, y'all. Give it up for me. I did a 10 and 10 on Tuesday. And y'all got y'all members live. So if you are a member to the channel and you missed the Lake Lanier video, it is there in the members. We did do it. Free Chrisean, pray for Junior, F the haters, and we out of here. Remember that love is always love, y'all. And I love y'all. When you rest well. And I'll see y'all later. Peace.